Sir, let's go now to the issues of extrajudicial killings. People would say that the rule of law is being diminished in the killings in the name of the war on drugs. How would you react to this po?
Hindi naman totoo yan. Actually, the perception is that even here in the Philippines, but more so sa United States and even sa European Union, so sinasabi nila doon na because of this war on drugs, people have been killed, 9,000, 8,000 people have been killed. But ang problema sa atin is that there are so much misinformation, disinformation about these killings. Actually, as of a few months ago, while we were already talking about 9,000 killings, mga 2,500 lamang ang connected doon sa war on drugs. All the others, ang problem is that they are being classified as victims of the war on drugs na hindi naman totoo eh. So, especially Rappler, Inquirer, and mainstream media. Ganun ang palabas nila eh. Pero, and ganyan din ang, so when I was in the US during the past, this month, hindi pa natatapos eh. I was able to speak there and be na mga 4 times in-interview ako doon, and even invited ni Ambassador Hubbard, tsaka Maisto, Hendrickson. Ganyan ang perception nila eh. Sabi ko sa kanila, it's over breakfast. No? Sabi ko sa kanila, have you ever wondered why the Filipinos who are supposed to be the affected by this war on drugs are still supporting the president? 8 out of 10 of the Filipinos are supporting the president. Have you ever wondered why in our neighboring countries in Southeast Asia, whenever the president visits Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, parang ang tingin sa kanya candidate pa rin siya during the elections before he won, na talagang he is being idolized, and mayroong full support sa kanya ang mga tao. And the same is true in his trips to the Middle East. Bakit dito lang sa Amerika ganyan kayo? Samantalang di man lang kayo nakakatikim kako ng epekto ng war on drugs ni Presidente. Ang unang-unang dapat natin tanungin, yung mga Pilipino dito sa Pilipinas na naapektuhan ng kanyang war on drugs. But people like him. People is not afraid of this war on drugs. Kaya mostly, I believe that these are misinformation. Kaya hindi ako naniniwala ako dyan. You know, after the meeting, one of the ambassadors na nandun, unang-una, gusto nilang, when I was still in New York, gusto nilang si Secretary de Lima kung pwede raw magkaroon ng bail. Sabi ko, sagot ko lang niya, simple. Because it is not in the executive department. You should address your concern to the judicial department. And then after that breakfast meeting, one of the ambassadors put me aside and told me, Secretary, baka pwede bang mabigyan natin ng kahit house arrest na lang si Secretary de Lima? So, parang may ibang agenda yung mga taga-Amerika eh. Bakit ang kwa namin dun is yung war on drugs, and yet ultimately after our discussion, mahaba din yun eh, siguro mga more than almost 3 hours eh. Bigla mong bubulong sa akin na kung pwede si Secretary de Lima magkaroon ng house arrest. Hindi, ibig sabihin nun, ang tingin ko dun talagang bias na sila eh.
Sir, going back to the numbers, sir, let's say it's 2,500. Isn't that a cause for concern pa rin, sir, that 2,500 have been killed?
Alam mo naman, no? I don't believe so. Kasi nakikita ng tao eh. Otherwise, kung talagang cause of concern yan, kitang-kita mo after the election, dapat dyan talagang downward ang rating ni Presidente. Pero hindi. Despite all your adverse media publicity from the mainstream media, ang nakakabawi lang si President Duterte dun sa social media.
Sir, I'm going to go back to the Prosecutors Convention in Clark last April. President Rodrigo Duterte brought out his narco list po, and then he said something like, sa dami ng mga taong nandito sa narco list ko, tingin nyo ba kaya nating i-prosecute to lahat? Sir, you are a lawyer, you are the head of prosecutors. How do you feel kapag ganun po yung line of words ng Pangulo na kaya ba natin tong i-prosecute lahat?
Well, we are trying our best, and katulad ng sadly, we are very much undermanned in the Department of Justice. Under the law, we could hire as much as almost 4,000 prosecutors, but meron kaming vacancy rate of 45%, which in the bottom figure would be about 1,500 prosecutors. So yan ang kakulangan namin kung bakit talagang we're hobbled by lack of prosecutors. In the next 2 years, we're supposed to hire again an additional 2,000. So lalong lalaki yung aming vacancy. Now, it was aggravated during the previous administration where only very few fiscals or prosecutors have been appointed. Meron ng isang pagkakataon dyan na yung isang fiscal nag-apply several years before, and then hindi lumalabas yung kanyang appointment as a prosecutor. Nag-apply naman siya later to be appointed as judge. You know what? Natanggap niya yung kanyang appointment magkasabay as a public prosecutor and as a judge. So siyempre, kinuha niya yung judge. But ganun nilalarawan lamang niya yung gaano katagal ang pag-appoint ng mga nakaraan. So now that more or less the salary grade of our prosecutors are more competitive with the private sector, hopefully madagdagan ito at maganda nga, I welcome the big passing percentage of the recent bar examinations where more than 3,000 new lawyers taking their oath. So pwedeng kunin namin lahat yan sa Department of Justice.
Secretary, as a last note, what can you tell the Filipinos to assure them that under your time, justice will be upheld in this country?
Tulad nung sinabi ko nung una, under my watch, the Secretary of Justice will not engage in a selective prosecution. So, and you could be sure that we will be intensifying our war against drugs, against corruption, and all forms of criminality. So I appeal to the public that in the declaration of the President dito sa martial law, sana suportahan natin. And even you could, even the people, the Muslim brothers in Mindanao are fully supportive of the President's declaration of martial law. So hopefully we'll be one on this, because once we attain peace in Mindanao, I believe that economic progress of the Philippines will be just around the corner. Actually, sa ngayon, hindi lamang natin nalalaman, pero talagang yung ating economic progress ay napakalaki. And this has been acknowledged by our world economists. And even by the some people, I've talked to the people in the NEDA na napakaganda niya ngayon ng ating economic programs.